Hello everyone and welcome back to another Too Good for Theaters video here. Today we're going to be breaking down the 2024 Sixers draft selections of Jared McCain as well as Adem Bona, as well as some undrafted selections. So let's get right into it. So with the 16th overall selection in the 2024 NBA draft, the Sixers were able to snag Duke guard Jared McCain. Debatably the best shooter in this draft here, I would say. And it's really in all facets, whether it's catch and shoot, off the dribble, spot up threats, or even in transition. I saw a stat that I believe he led all NCAA athletes in transition threes made. And that's certainly going to be an aspect of his game that hopefully correlates. I mean, he better pray that correlates, because that really is his one calling card. But I have full confidence in his ability to knock down shots, especially off ball. And that kind of leads me into a little bit of a question that I have with Jared McCain, or a multitude of questions, is whether he's going to be effective with the ball in his hands, or if he's strictly going to be that off-ball threat for the Sixers. And I think that's what kind of answer itself within the rookie season or not, but also kind of based on those questions, is he going to be able to play with Tyrese Maxey? Because if the Sixers drafted someone who's not really kind of able to play with their second best player, that's a little bit of an issue. Even if you are just projecting this guy to be the first or second guy off the bench, you'd like to have him fully capable of playing with Tyrese Maxey. And on the offensive end, I feel like that's not going to be an issue at all, because Tyrese Maxey is going to have the ball in his hands. And a lot of Jared McCain's time at Duke was as an off-ball guard, obviously playing alongside Isaiah Proctor. And the gravity that Jared McCain really has is that off-ball shooter is certainly just going to make him a threat to be able to play off ball. But if you want him to be that sixth man off the bench, you'd kind of also like him to take on a little bit of ball handling facilities, as well as kind of develop in that facilitator role. And he didn't get much time to really show his capabilities on that end during his time at Duke. Through limited action, I feel like he did a nice job in the pick and roll of kind of being a creator for himself. He understands his physical limits as an undersized guard, and did a real nice job of kind of using his body. And he was really able to kind of get defenders on his back a lot of times, and he was kind of able to create for himself as well as others in those scenarios. But even off ball, I feel like he did a real nice job of kind of being a connector in terms of facilitation. It reminded me a lot of times of someone who we recently just saw this upcoming season in Nicholas Batum. Did a real nice job of being that connecting, passing type guy. And even though I understand that this is college, he did a real nice job of kind of facilitating the post and kind of feeding those Duke bigs. So hopefully that's something that can correlate to the NBA level. Obviously, you have Joel Embiid down there. And if he's really able to kind of get himself the ball, or get Joel the ball in those areas, that's certainly going to help him getting on the floor a lot more. And if he's not able to make those passes, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for him to kind of stay on the floor consistently. But through his time at Duke, I feel like he did a nice job of displaying his facilitation even through limited reps. But really my one big issue here with Jared McCain is his undersized, and it's more so on the defensive end, because obviously Tyrese Maxey, not the biggest guard himself either. So are they really going to be able to be on the floor at the same time, and are they compatible on the defensive end is going to be the biggest question. I will give Jared McCain credit here. He did play bigger than what his size suggests. He did a real nice job of kind of staying compact. And even if defenders were bigger than him, he was able to kind of toughen up and kind of keep them within range where he's not going to get absolutely bullied on the defensive end. He does a solid job of moving his feet, and he is a pretty good off-ball defender, recognizes a lot of plays, and he's a really good team defender. But there are going to be times, especially during his rookie season, where he's going to get back down and you're going to have to send help. Or blatantly, he's just going to get shot over by bigger wings. Obviously, you have to deal with the Celtics. You have to deal with a bunch of wings on the Knicks now. And especially in contender status, a lot of the wings are probably going to be able to abuse his defense. So that's really my one big question with Jared McCain, is if he's going to be able to stick up and kind of be that 6th, 7th man for you offensively and be effective with the ball in his hands, as well as playing alongside Tyrese Maxey on the defensive end, and kind of not being that defensive mismatch that's really going to mess up the Sixers' defensive strategies. But with Nick Nurse at the helm, I feel confident that he is going to be able to play alongside Tyrese Maxey. Obviously, during his time with Toronto, running Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet, two undersized guards. And with Nick Nurse at the helm, as previously stated, hopefully that's going to allow for Jared McCain to play alongside guys like Tyrese Maxey and even Kyle Lowry if he returns. And that's really just going to help him kind of stay on the floor if he's not going to be that defensive mismatch for the Sixers. So with the 41st overall selection, the Sixers were able to select UCLA big man Adem Bona, the Defensive Player of the Year for the Pac-12. And that's really his calling card, is more so his defense / his athleticism. Really displayed a lot of versatility on the defensive end in terms of just being a shot blocker as well as being able to switch onto smaller players and kind of defend those positions. I know he averaged upwards to, I believe, around 2 blocks per game. But really made a lot of his work on the defensive end, and that's certainly going to be how he's going to see the floor during his rookie season, if he is able to at all. He's going to have to be a versatile defender for you. The Sixers roster does not have a lot of construction at this point right now, so there is a chance that he might actually see some playing time. He is going to be a versatile defender. Honestly, he does remind me a lot of actual like Paul Reed in terms of being able to switch defensively, kind of guard those undersized players. But he is a little undersized if he does play the 5, but he's around that range if he plays the 4, being 6'8". So that's going to be a big question mark for him, is whether he's going to be a power forward or a center. His offensive limitations might actually force him to kind of be that small ball 5, similar to Paul Reed and Montrezl Harrell. Really does not have any shooting threat at all. I know he only shot around 70% from the line in college, did not hit a single 3. And looking at his offensive tape, he more so really is just a screen and roller, if not a dunker spot kind of sitter. And he does have the ability to play above the rim in terms of catching lobs, which is an aspect the Sixers have really been lacking from their backup bigs these past couple seasons. Really, the last one I can really think of is like kind of Rashawn Holmes being that kind of like being that recipient of an alley-oop pass and kind of throwing it down consistently from a big man perspective. But that's really where he's going to do the most of his damage. Everything that he's going to be scoring around is going to be in the paint. He has a pretty limited post bag, but like how many times are you going to go to your backup center in the post in today's age? Not really worried about that much. But a lot of limitations with him offensively. And defensively, while he is a very good defender, he is undersized. So if he is playing the 5 position, he's going to have a tough time rebounding. And we even saw that at the college level. He only averaged around 6 rebounds in college. And that's certainly an area that the Sixers struggled with. So that might be actually why they kind of use him as a 4, more so a 5, because of that defensive struggle, especially the kind of corral those defensive rebounds. We saw that especially towards the end of last season. Obviously, the playoff series against the Knicks really was that kryptonite of allowing too many offensive rebounds. So I wonder if they do decide to kind of run that double big man lineup, essentially, just to kind of clean up the rebounding in terms of being that backup 4 and 5. Obviously, free agent hasn't really begun yet, so the Sixers, I still expect them to target a backup 5 in free agency. But I feel like Adem Bona might be one of those guys where you can kind of sit him in the G League a year and kind of develop him until he gets stronger. Hopefully he becomes a better rebounder. I don't really foresee a lot of offensive showcasing from him in terms of being able to develop a more stable shot. This isn't like Paul Reed, where Paul Reed kind of showed signs this season of adding a 3-point jump shot or a jump shot in general to his game. But Adem Bona is much more limited offensively than B-Ball Paul is. But he is a better defender. He is a better athlete than B-Ball Paul. Or maybe I shouldn't say a better defender, but he definitely is a better athlete than B-Ball Paul was. He's going to be able to switch onto smaller guys and kind of guard below him. But really just my biggest question is if he's going to be a 4 or a 5. And I know a lot of teams don't like to kind of run a 4-5 lineup where the 4 cannot really shoot at all or really be an offensive threat outside of the paint. So the Sixers might actually have the game plan around that and kind of sign a stretch 5 to kind of even create more spacing for their backup unit here. a guy like a Mike Muscala. Obviously, they had Mo Bamba last year. Really didn't pan out. But any kind of stretch five who can really space the floor might allow Adem Bona here to really see a lot of playing time during his rookie season. The likelihood of him seeing the floor at all this season really is low, being a second-round pick, especially on a contending team like the Sixers. So I do see this more so as a developmental project, and hopefully he's able to kind of evolve that his offensive game. I don't see that much just with the package that he has right now, but hopefully he proves me wrong. And if he's able to bulk up and just become a better rebounder, I can certainly see him playing actual minute for the Sixers here in terms of next season and years beyond, especially on that rookie contract and being a second-round pick. So hopefully everything works out for him, but I can certainly see why the Sixers selected him here in the second round. All right, everyone. Those were my thoughts on the Sixers 2024 draft selections. I know this is my first bit of Sixers content in a little while, but I look forward to making some new videos on the undrafted signings made by the Sixers, as well as just some free agency videos. I'm sure the Sixers will be making some more signings in terms of that aspect. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.